Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the horror guru.
I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about another Shudder original called Lily Lives Alone. Written and directed by Martin Melnick, this movie is about a woman who is grieving the 10-year anniversary of the death of her daughter?
We think.
Father?
We're not sure.
Mother?
Movie doesn't make it very clear.
It's a movie that asks a lot of questions and doesn't answer many of those questions, which is actually my first problem with this film. It seems like it's a movie trying to talk about generational trauma and depression and whatnot, but because it doesn't give concrete answers for a lot of the questions it gives, I can't be sure which or all of those things it's trying to talk about, to be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating.
What literally happens in the movie is we have a character named Lily who is kind of a bitch.
Yeah. She's really bitchy.
And mean. But then you quickly learn that it has to do with some sort of event that happened about 10 years ago, and she's convinced that the rest of the neighborhood hates her for it. We'll talk more in the spoiler section about what supposedly happened 10 years ago, because to be completely honest,
think is supposed to have happened.
Because to be completely honest, I think it's a spoiler, but I'm not entirely sure, but I'm also not sure exactly what it is because this movie is kind of confusing.
The first half of the movie, things are going pretty good, you know, like building tension, we're laying out shit. Then by the time the movie starts to have to start answering questions, it falls apart.
Yep. First half of the movie I was in.
Excuse me.
First half of the movie I was in. First half of the movie I was in. Because in the first half of the movie, we're introduced to the characters, we're introduced to Lily, her on-again, off-again fling/boyfriend kind of guy.
Yeah.
Or just dude who can't take the hint that she's only into him for the sex.
Yeah.
We're introduced to her friend at work, and we're introduced to a couple neighbors who don't seem to actually care that much about her, but she's convinced they really do.
Yeah, she's convinced that they're like
her.
spying on her and fucking with her, and one of them played by Jeffrey Combs.
And some spooky stuff is happening throughout her house, and we're not quite sure if it's in her head, if it's a ghost, if the people in the neighborhood are literally fucking with her to make her think she's crazy, or, and this is a wild possibility that we'll talk more about in the spoiler section, or she's got someone chained up somewhere in the house and they're sneaking through the house through the vents. Wild possibility, I know, but it's one of the possibilities brought up in the movie, to be completely honest. So.
Yeah, so tune in to the spoiler section to see whether whether that happens.
Well, we'll talk about the spoiler section, but before we even get to the spoiler section, I'm going to tell you I'm not even clear which one of those it was supposed to be when you get to the end of this movie, and that's part of the problem. I'm like, okay, so was she crazy? Was it ghosts? Did she do something bad to someone? Is she just racked with guilt over something that happened? I don't entirely know which of those things is true.
Well, like, that's the big problem, because, like, you get down to the, like, mother, father, daughter killing, and you're like, wait, was it all three of them, or?
Yeah, did she kill her father? Did she kill her mother? Did she kill her daughter? Was it an accident?
Yeah.
Did they just abandon her? Or did the mother and father abandon her? There's a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be answered by the end of this movie.
Yeah, explain yourself, movie. Explain!
And I do think some of them they give some answers for, but I'm still a little unclear on the overall picture of what's going on here, to be honest.
Yeah.
I found this movie utterly frustrating. I was into it at first, and then the longer we went into the second act of the movie, and then the further we went into the third act of the movie, when it became clear it wasn't going to answer any of these
Yeah, it
questions.
becomes clear it wasn't going to answer anything by the third act. It's like, okay, all right.
The movie pissed me off.
The best part about the movie is it is actually, because it's so convoluted and bad at explaining itself, it is very forgettable.
Yeah, it is pretty forgettable. I had to refresh some of the elements of the movie by like reading the fucking, not Wikipedia page, but the IMDb page.
Yeah.
The one thing I will give the movie is there's two highlights in the movie. Number one, the actress playing Lily actually does a really good job at the character. It's a very complex character. It's a very not nice character.
Yeah. Like, it was very clear that she was not supposed to be extremely likable.
But she does a really good job of straddling that line between like losing her mind and potentially being fucked with. Like she does straddle that line very well. I just wish the movie had an answer to that question.
Yeah.
The other highlight in the movie is Jeffrey Combs. Jeffrey Combs is briefly in this movie as one of her neighbors. In fact, he is the primary neighbor in which she communicates with throughout the movie, and she's convinced that he is fucking with her the entire movie. Now, as a viewer, I didn't get the impression that he was, but she's convinced that it's happening.
She's absolutely convinced that he is.
If he is fucking with her, then Jeffrey Combs is doing a good job pretending not to. But we'll talk more about that in the spoiler section, because again, this is another element of the movie that is unclear to me.
Yeah.
So, Lily Lives Alone, I did not care for very much. I thought it was a very disappointing movie, a very frustrating movie, and I just felt like I wasted 2 hours of my life when it was over.
Yeah. Like I said, the good thing is, it's not all that memorable. So,
that's true. Like the fucking Men in Black, you won't remember it in the morning.
Won't remember it in the morning.
You'll be neuralized. So it has that going for it. The movie is currently available on Shudder, so if you do want to watch it for yourself, go ahead and watch it on Shudder. Now, with that said, let us move on to the spoilers so I can go into the nitty-gritty of what this movie fails to answer.
I don't know how many murders this woman has committed.
Yes. Okay, so I'm pretty sure 3 things happened in her past. 1, she did kill her dad.
Yeah.
Who was kind of an asshole when her mom left and abandoned her.
Yeah.
But also, he was kind of crippled and relied on her, and she kind of resented him for that, and he was also not like a nice guy to begin with.
Yeah.
So she killed her dad. She was negligent with her daughter, and her daughter got a hold of her drugs and died of some sort of overdose.
Some sort of drug thing. I think
her mom just abandoned her with the dad. And I'm assuming the daughter too.
Yeah,
I don't know the timeline
we keep
there.
Seeing this like ghost of the mother. I think
yes.
It's a ghost of the mother.
And that's where it gets confusing, because I'm like, okay, did she kill her mother too? Because she's seeing the ghost of the mother, or are we just presuming the mother's dead wherever she is?
Yeah.
Or is the ghost in her head? Except there's this weird scene at the beginning of the movie where she's at her work. She works at like a grocery store, and like this kid comes up to her.
Oh God, I forgot about this part. Yeah.
And the kid is like convulsing, right?
Yeah.
Like the kid is having some sort of stroke, and she's like, "Are you okay?" or whatever. And then she looks back and the kid's just not there. And then later she walks down an aisle and finds a kid who looks identical to the kid she saw on the ground, and he obviously has died from some sort of stroke.
Yeah.
So the implication of the scene to me was that she saw the ghost of the kid.
Yeah. It implies that she sees ghosts right there.
Yes.
You know, so.
But then there's also some other weird things that happen in the movie. At one point, it seems like she has someone locked in one of her rooms. Either that or a ghost is making a noise in one of her rooms. And her boyfriend / sex buddy, whatever you want to call him, hears the noise and tries to go into the room and finds a little girl.
Yeah.
In that room. And he sees the little girl. But then the little girl just kind of disappears. And so we're like, okay, was that a ghost?
Could be.
In the very next scene, we see her go into the bathroom, and in the bathroom, you can clearly see that like the vents in her house, she has like industrial like bolted in so that they can't be removed. Like it's clearly not the original design of the house. She added these to them, and I'm like, okay, are those supposed to be some sort of like child safety thing that are like remnants from when her daughter was alive, or is that to stop whatever is moving throughout the house from moving throughout the house?
Yeah, because other people hear the thing moving throughout the house.
Yeah, so it's not just her.
Yeah, so it's not just her. Look, we gotta establish some ground rules if there's ghosts.
Yeah, and there's the other possibility that the people in the neighborhood are fucking with her, and that doesn't seem to be the case. Like Jeffrey Combs,
it doesn't seem to, it seems like they're more being snoopy.
Yeah, Jeffrey Combs seems concerned about her because he keeps hearing like screaming and crashing crashing and loud noises coming from the house.
Yeah, which are obviously, I mean, I assume they were her.
Yeah, her.
Because she's screaming and crashing and doing all kinds of shit.
Because she thinks she's seeing ghosts and shit. She eventually finds that there is a guy who's recording her. And the guy was apparently recording her because he knew about the event that happened 10 years ago. I don't know if that was supposed to be her dad or her daughter. I'm guessing daughter.
Yeah.
I don't know. But whatever the event happened 10 years ago, he thinks he's going to see ghosts in the house. So he's trying to record it to see ghosts.
Right.
So I guess that's points towards maybe ghosts, but he says he didn't see anything. Despite the fact there was some weird shit happening in many scenes where it cut to like the fucking camera.
Which is another like
so there isn't
problem
ghosts
with the movie. Yeah, there aren't ghosts. There are ghosts. Who's to say, really?
She also gets like weird notes that like say things like 10 years ago, like almost like
7 days.
It was like a combination of like fucking 7 days and also like I know what you did last summer. Yeah,
I know what you did last summer.
So
you went fishing.
So someone's fucking with her, unless that was also supposed to be in her head. Ultimately, the movie culminates in her killing her boyfriend guy, which may or may not be the 4th or 5th person she's killed, depending upon how you interpret the other events.
Yeah.
So this is
I just don't live with this woman.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, so was this a movie about a woman who was traumatized by a terrible accidental death that happened to her daughter 10 years ago? Or is this a movie about a serial killer who is too crazy to realize she's a serial killer? I don't know. It kept doing this thing where it would be like, oh, the possibility is this. And then it would pull that away from you immediately. And you'd be like, okay, so what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And it did that one too many times. And by the end of it, I'm like, you're never going to give me an answer. And then they really didn't. And my problem is that this movie is so open to interpretation. I don't even know what the stakes of the movie are anymore.
Well, yeah. This is what we mean by like the movie is very, very, very frustrating.
It is. Anyway, my fellow Gorehounds, I did not care for Lily Lives Alone. And with that said,
you can find me here. Right now, I'm kind of sporadically streaming on the weekdays at about 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Stop by. I'd love to chat with you. How about you?
Y'all know me, I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me on various social media platforms, but these days, I primarily use Blue Sky, so follow me on there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go to the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way, but we will certainly accept more. And if you made it this far into the video, I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below using the hashtag,
what the hell was that?
Exactly.
That's exactly what this is.
That's how I felt when the movie ended. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, peace out, and we'll catch y'all later.
Or maybe we won't. Maybe we won't because, like, we were ghosts, or we were dead the whole time, or it turns out we were in a time tunnel loop thing with a plane engine and a guy in a rabbit costume. Happy Easter, by the way.
Peace.